Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to Amazon FBA wholesale. You guys do not want to miss this one. A lot of people think that in the wholesale model you need tens of thousands of dollars to even think to begin this model right away, and you need to basically put that all into inventory from the very get-go to even be involved in this model, or it's not even worth it. And there are some cases where this is true, because sometimes you do need to place larger inventory orders. However, starting with a budget of this size is not necessary, especially in a model of which you leverage the fact that we already have buying power. This is what we do to leverage better pricing on items for our clients. So rather than needing to go out of pocket $40,000, $50,000 to even place an order, what we do is we utilize the fact that we already have a ton of different clients and we get better pricing on items already, making it, a model that allows people to come in with a lesser amount right out the gate. And rather than, again, coming in very aggressive, you can be a little bit more modern when it comes to the budget necessary to scale. So that being said, I'm going to break down two different stores for you. Obviously, the budgets that do come in more aggressive do scale faster, and those are things that we've seen. However, that's not to say that ones don't scale that come in with a much lesser budget than people that come in with $50,000 or $60,000 to start. So anyway, that being said, guys, I want to show you guys a couple different stores so that you guys have a better understanding of everything, of how it works if you scale gradually versus if, again, you come in with a larger budget, making this a model that's suitable for really everybody. So I'm going to be starting off here with a store, again, that is more gradual. Someone that came in with a budget. His initial startup was about $10,000 he placed for an inventory purchase, and then he did make subsequent orders afterwards and did really ramp it up after that. So again, this is somebody that did come in with about an initial $10,000, and then gradually after that he did place some orders and things like that to really grow the store along the way. So that being said, let's check out the reports here and just see exactly what we're seeing in terms of sales and everything like that, so you guys can have a better understanding. So if we go here and look at the over here, the Amazon sales, and then we go to year to date, we can actually see here that basically when he started and we were just loading up the inventory for him, it did take a little bit before that was even loaded within the store. And basically you can see here how that works with a more gradual pace, right? Somebody that comes in with a lesser amount and just wants to basically put in a little bit more and allow it to grow gradually isn't going to grow as fast as somebody that wants to come in with a more aggressive approach. But that being said, again, with the client like this, you can see here everything has gradually increased over time, and all the sales he's made to date, we haven't collected a profit share on. So we do have a 6-month grace period where we don't collect any profit share, and we're pretty lenient. We generally extend it a month or so afterwards. So again, that allows clients to take advantage of the fact that we don't collect anything when it comes to the profit share. So any sales that are made during that period, we again don't collect any profit on, right? As far as the profit split on the back end. So that being said, when you look at a store like this, you can just see the gradual pace. It's growing along the way, and this is a client that is continually really just upping that budget as he receives payouts and as he basically just receives more that he can put in. It does grow month over month. So this is a more gradual store that you can see here is just kind of pacing over time. And now we're going to look at a store that comes in a little bit more aggressive, so has a larger spend budget, and somebody that does want to have those type of sales that do generate a bit more revenue. So let's have a look and see one of those type of clients. We have several here, so it's hard to sometimes find each one, but again, in this type of model, you can do whatever you want. You can come in with a more aggressive model. You can come in with a lesser amount. It allows you to do what you want with it. Obviously, if you have more, your store is going to generally scale a lot faster. So this is, again, in that case, this is a client that did do that. We're going to check that out. A client that came in with a more sizable budget to start, and then basically just has been continually ramping upwards. So if we go here to Amazon, then actually check out the same thing. Year to date, this is a client, he's only been a client for about 5 months now. You can see right out the gate, he did scale faster, so he did have a higher spend budget that he could put towards it. And he's been pushing over 20+% margins, I think about 25. percent margins on his sales currently. So this is, again, somebody that came in with a more aggressive approach and wanted to put in a bit more versus another client that came in with a bit of a lesser amount. But that's not to say that both aren't growing. Both of them are growing. It's just obviously you are typically going to see a higher growth spike with somebody that comes in with a larger budget. But again, it's not necessary. You can come in with whatever you feel is right. And basically the biggest piece of anything for a store to be successful is we like clients to continually put back whatever they possibly can towards their store. You want to treat this as like a brick and mortar, for example, where you're opening a store, you're basically making sure that you have enough products and basically just have everything in that store to make sure that it's selling. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you could miss out on a ton of sales from people that are at your physical storefront. And let's say you don't have that item that somebody's looking for. They're not going to be able to buy it if you're not basically housing that item, right? So it's the same type of model with this. If you don't have it, you can't sell it. If somebody wanted to buy that item, but you don't have it in your store, you're gonna miss out on that sale versus somebody else that came in with a bit of a higher budget. So again, to kind of adjust for that for certain people, if you wanna come in with a lesser budget, but allow for basically an amount of tapering to where you can continually put back a certain amount, and if you get paid a certain amount from your job, let's just say, and you're continually putting back X amount that you can allocate towards this business, that is the best thing you can do for your business. We always tell people that this should be treated like a true business. A lot of people seem to think in e-commerce that you just get involved and you make a ton within your first couple months. That is not the case. It typically takes about 6 to 8 weeks for us to even fulfill each order. So that being said, you do have to be patient along this period. This is where items are first sent out to our warehouse. We go ahead and we do all the fulfillment necessary and then send all those items off to Amazon. So during this whole period, there is a bit of a waiting time, and you guys have to be okay with that if you're gonna get a store with Smart FBA. Okay, afterwards, we like to make sure that every single month clients are placing an order, making sure that we can have a full amount of sales necessary within that store and allow for the most possible exposure that we can towards each one. So that being said, you want to make sure that you are treating this as a true business, guys. That is, again, the best thing you could possibly do. So as you grow, be patient. This is a long-term process. You want to be treating this as you would building a fire, for example. When you're building a fire, you need all the proper components to make sure that fire is continually growing and it's sustainable. That's our whole goal, is to make sure that every store is sustainable. So to make sure that that fire is growing, for example, you need to throw in all the proper components and continually throw in logs to make sure that fire is growing and getting bigger and bigger. So in this case, we like clients to make sure that every single month they are placing an order, whatever they possibly can towards their inventory purchases. Even if we are within that period of waiting for products to upload, you still want to make sure you're placing a new inventory purchase. That way you have a maximum amount of products within your store, and you can really then ramp up and take advantage of the fact that we are waiting for everything to upload, and by that time you're placing another order and everything is coming within that store, guys. So that being said, I hope you learned something from this video. The differences between coming in a bit more aggressive within a store and the differences between being a bit more passive, and whatever kind of suits your needs and everything can be accommodated for. So without further ado, thanks again, guys, for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.